Europe would not survive without a very protective United States. And for many years, European countries were actually more hawkish than the Americans were. Say Germany in particular was quite hawkish in the 1950s and 60s. After all, the Soviets occupied a third of what is now Germany. And any war would be fought on German soil. So, but as Europe became richer, there's absolutely zero reason why the United States should be paying a disproportionate share of European defense. Why we should care. We should care, I think, about German security. Speaking as an American, I believe that it is in our interest. But it's also the case that it can't be more in our interest than it is in Germany's. And if the Germans really aren't serious about the alliance, well, why should we be? And if you look at what they've been spending, it's clear that and you look at their deep desire over the years for things like Nord Stream 2 and so on, even though virtually everyone in NATO told them this was bad for the alliance, it does seem clear that for many years, Germany took American security guarantees for granted and felt absolved of any real responsibility for its own defense. An alliance like that will not long survive. And I'm glad to see that the new German government seems to be moving in the right direction, though I remember that the previous government talked a lot about Zeitenwende and we're going to take responsibility and it's a new era, but ended up actually not doing very much at all. So let's wait and see. But, with Asian allies, the situation, I think, is a bit different. One of the reasons that it is more urgent for the United States to step back a bit in Europe is because we have to step up a bit in Asia. That the challenge of China, which again, let's not forget in Trump's mind, is largely the result of insane trade policy, which the entire American establishment endorsed for 30 years and gave China the wherewithal to cheat its way to becoming a superpower. That has now created an urgent security threat. We saw China doing drills in the last week of a blockade of Taiwan, something that could provoke the greatest international crisis since the Cuban Missile Crisis or even before. And Asian allies, I think we have to give honorable mention here to Japan as well as others. The Philippines have stepped forward. Australia is taking things more seriously. So we're all waking up. And hopefully we will all wake up and each realize we must do more than before, and we must take more responsibility because the problem is greater.